Hi guys, welcome to today's video. It is so nice to be here. So I hope you're doing well, and today we are going to look at mixing. So throughout the year I tried to do a monthly favorite mixes, but this year's been a bit of a strange one. So I have started combining these, and I think this will be the last one for the year because we've got so many videos coming up to Christmas, and then the hopefully some kind of a watercolor advent. So you can see here that today we are starting on these printables. So I have 3 different sets of printables in my shop at the minute, and we're going to start working through these every week. So, and then we will kind of have a break through December. So sometimes I might do 2 videos a week. This week it's just going to be the 1 video. I've been filming quite a bit. I'm working on a really nice haul video and a couple of favorites videos for the year, and also so you can see this is the one that we'll be working on today. And this is I do have an old video about this. So this was like this is a 11 by 15. This was probably the largest painting I had done at the time. So this was inspired by the movie The Aeronauts, and it was just I didn't want to watch it because I don't really like heights, but my mum started watching it and she's like, no, you'll love it. And then I was hooked. It was a really nice movie. So then I really wanted to paint something, so this came out of that. And then I thought it would be nice to do for the last mixes of the year, and then to kind of launch into the holiday season. So yeah, you can see here that my palettes are stacked, and that's kind of how I've been painting a lot lately. So the first colour we're going to swatch here is Azalea. So this one is from Nibs watercolours, and I will link it below. And this is a neon watercolour, so it doesn't have a light fastness rating. I do have things painted with neons that have lasted nearly a decade. So I think, as long as it's not in the sun, it should last for quite a few decades. But this is, the first mix we're going to do is mixing it with the Daniel Smith Pyrrole Orange. So you could see there that by itself is a very bright orange, but when you pair it with the neon, like when you compare it with the neon, it doesn't look as bright. But I really love this mix. So you can see here that I do the mix, and then I actually just dipped my brush in water once to get a lighter shade, to get a tint, and then I dipped it again to get another softer version of it. So you can see that, like, just with the one mix you can wash that out and make several really nice variations. Okay, so here we have the Azalea again, and I am mixing this with the Sun Gold by Paint and Paper Studio. So I really love their colors, and they, I think, just do about 5 colors. They're all really beautiful, and every time I use them, you guys really love them. So this one here is the lemon yellow it's the Schminke lemon yellow with the Paint and Paper Studio Sun Gold. So you can see that this is kind of a very bright and warm color palette. So the next one here is the Sedona. This is Daniel Smith, and it's a version of Burnt Sienna. So it's sort of my preferred version of Burnt Sienna. And then I'm mixing it with the Grumbacher Titanium White, and you can see it goes this really beautiful, it's a really beautiful color. So here I think the camera washed it out a little bit, but you'll be able to see it a little bit better in a minute. And this one here is the Wallace and Seymour Cinabrese. So I'm just giving you kind of a comparison here, so you can see them up against each other. They're really both beautiful. I have since, so I think I put the Sedona and White mix in my favorite mixes video last year. You can see it there really beautifully. And I have since put a little bit in a half pan to have a pre-mix of that always on hand. So now I'm just adding a couple of these other colors, which are already mixes, so I figured they would work really well here. So that is the Turner Artist Watercolor Permanent Red, or Pearlescent Red, which is actually like a pink, and like a pink mixed with a pearlescent white, and then the shell pink, which is like a vermilion, like a orange red mixed with white. And then I'm using the shell harp light from Earth Mineral Arts, and then this one here is the gold gouache from Royal Talens, which I just got recently, and I really like this. I've been using this quite a bit. Okay, so we're going to start the painting now. So I'm starting with this mix of the azalea, the neon pink and the orange, and I want this first balloon here, the higher balloon, to be the focal point. So I'm starting this with the color that I most, want to be noticed in the painting. And you can see here that I'm starting it with a very, very light wash, and then we continue to drop color into the wet wash where we want the color to deepen up. Okay, so now we are lifting out the highlights. So the side where the sun's hitting, we want that to be lighter and brighter, and then the other side will be, more in the shade. So I'm starting the second balloon here, and I really liked this mix, and I wanted to use it here, but at the end of the painting I realized that the clouds in the background, this balloon here is not standing out very much. So this yellow all gets covered up, and I actually do a few glazes over it and make it sort of more of a pink balloon with quite a darker shadow on it. So yeah, I will just, and that's, I guess, what happens, you kind of start the painting, and this is why it's important to do little color studies. So before you begin, you can just do a quick color study to see if you like the colors and if they work well, and then you can focus more energy into the actual painting. But yeah, so I will just kind of let you watch here, and then I will kind of come back when there's something to point out. Enjoy. So you can see here for the garland, I started the leaves, and then by the end of it, I've just layered and layered so many different shades of green, different shades of pink. I'm not really creating like little flowers here. I'm just more creating little floral kind of splotches. I'm not sure, but you know, it's supposed to be up in the sky and not really visible, so you don't have to worry too much about these resembling flowers. I think in the scheme of things in the painting, once you've kind of put all those layers on there, they will, you know, do the job. And yeah, the other thing I just wanted to say was the kind of the sentiment surrounding this. So I've always really enjoyed the quote, "Hitch your wagon to a star," and I've always wanted to represent that somehow, never really known how, and I think this is a really nice way to kind of put that sentiment into a painting. So that's kind of what how, you know, what this is inspired by. Yeah. Okay, so you can see that for the first balloon, I used the holographic gold for the cords or the ropes from the balloon to the basket. And on this one here, I want this one to be a little bit more in shadow. So I have used the porphyry violet, like a darker violet earth color for the ropes there. And then if you want a little bit more information about these ribbons, I did a video about transparent leaves just a few videos ago. I'll try and link it below, and that kind of shows you a little bit more about how to create these shapes. And then you can see here, so once this is fully dry, I go back in here and I can glaze over the top those kind of diamond shapes on top of the balloon. And again, I'm being very loose with this, so I don't need every single diamond to be in here. I'm just trying to more create the impression of these diamonds here, and I want that I kind of, you can see like over on the side where there's highlights, I don't even put as many in. Okay, so you can see that I'm using this grey, and it's actually the Holbein, I think it's the warm grey 3. I'll check that and I'll link it below. So I was looking for something to kind of replicate this grey that's in the Artistro palette that I filmed a few weeks ago. And I found these, so it's actually a gouache, it's not a watercolour. And I think the 2 might actually match a little bit better. This is the number 3, but I think the 2 might be a better match. But I really, so you can see this one, it's really beautiful. It's got like a really soft undertone versus the one underneath it is the gouache, and it's a little bit heavier. Yeah, but so I've been really enjoying that as well. And I just also wanted to say that if you're having trouble, like if you're wanting to paint looser, I've been getting questions about that, and I will do a video about that at some point. But one of the ways to paint looser is just to try painting with a different sized brush than you think would be right for that application. So for example, for for the ropes, I need like a really fine detail brush, but you can see here that I'm using, this is a 00 Da Vinci, so I'll link this below. And so it's a little bit bigger than, you know, would be sort of right for this if I was trying to paint it in proper detail. And the larger the brush and kind of the way that you have to use the different pressure to apply it there will actually help you to get a looser stroke. And so you can also see I have started the clouds here. So what I did was just apply water to the paper without any color in it, and now we are adding sort of the softness of the clouds into that water. So this is the way that we're going to be able to get that sort of soft cloud-like quality. So the pigment, you're just using a small amount of pigment, and instead of putting it on as a wash, we're allowing the water to diffuse the pigment softly into the clouds. So you can see here again, I'm just applying the water, and then I'm applying pigment, and only soft and small amounts of pigment to start with, and kind of dropping that in where I think the sort of fluffiness of the clouds would be and where I think the light might be hitting it. And you can see here I'm also adding some of that Chantelle, the holographic gold. Okay, so I'm using the last little bits of this FW fluorescent pink. So I think this was in my favorites haul last year. And I am just going over some of this, lining some of this out with my dip pen here. And then I'm also using some of the Winsor & Newton Gold ink with my dip pen. So I really love this ink. I think this is maybe my 7th or 8th bottle of it now. So yeah, so you can see here that I, as well as sort of doing the brush strokes, you know, sort of loosely, I also want this dip pen to be like that. So I don't necessarily want to line out everything with exactly the same pressure and exactly the same line width. I want to leave some bits and then add some little whispers of a line here and there. So So after I finished the cloud for the video, I kind of just kept working on it. I think I worked on it a little bit more than it needed, but you can see here in the second balloon, I just kept adding dark shadows around it, and then I also kept adding on to the garland. So I just kept going and going, and then I did this over on this side. And I actually just also, you can see like I just did a very subtle wash there behind there. And I did some splatters below and above the clouds there, just to kind of create that feeling of, you know, celebration, and to kind of get us started on this holiday season. And let's see. So I also... you can see there, like I outlined one of the ribbons and then I painted one of them in, and I think I will show you here somewhere as well that on the second balloon, so I didn't like how it was working, and especially like on camera, that FW ink, because I did it over the top of the brown, so you can see here, yeah, I just used the pastel and I added some of that on there. So I just rubbed it straight in. I didn't use a fixative or anything like that. But yeah, because I added the FW ink on top of a brown paint, it was kind of showing up red on camera, and it wasn't my favorite. So I just kept working on it and glazing it, and then I put the whole left of the balloon there in shadow, and I didn't really love that, so I put some phantom fire over the top of it, which is a handmade watercolor by Rivervale, and it's like a similar to the Daniel Smith Interference Copper. And then I just added the pastel on there as well, so I sort of deepened up the clouds and then added that. So you know, if you're finding that the painting is needing more work, then just slowly, you know, keep working on it, or start again and try like a different color palette. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this, and I am excited for this holiday season. I hope you guys are, and I will see you next week. Have a great weekend. Bye.